Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to We the Revolution, a strategy and role-playing story game that is available on Steam, and it is a game about the French Revolution where you play the role initially of a judge of the French Revolution, but you sort of rise to power as you unseat all the other individuals in your path, and at this point, 21 episodes into this series, we're now the de facto leader of Paris, leading the armies of the revolution against counter-revolutionary forces that have come under the banner of my brother, who is leading victims of the revolution against us. It's a very dark sort of, what do you call it? It's sort of a dark dystopian type impression of the revolution, with everything very dirty, lots of intrigue, lots of backstabbing, lots of murder, guillotining, and all, the worst things you would stereotypically think of the French Revolution. We've unseated many rivals in front of us, like Robespierre and others, but we are now faced with an overwhelming enemy force. We have to buy time for reinforcements to come from elsewhere in France. There are 12 days left until those reinforcements arrive, but our brother is arriving on the field of battle today, and so this episode will be largely centered around the battle for Paris and our attempt to hold the city and protect as many Parisians as possible until reinforcements can arrive. With that being said, this was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel from a couple of days or maybe a week or so back by now, but I'm going to go ahead and jump out, return it back to the live stream, and I hope you guys enjoy. Leave your thoughts below as always, and I'll catch you guys at the end. Family. Could do that. I don't know. I don't have enough points to build barracks. I can't do anything with the hideout. The printing shop's closed. So really it's either facilitate the persuasions or spend more time with my family. I guess I'll spend more time with my family. That won't spend all my points. All right, before we fight the battle, what's the intrigue say up here? Germaine de Stael. Madame de Stael has used the city's moment of weakness to fight for women's rights. I'm not the one to judge the motivations of other people, but if we do not stop her today, we may not wake up tomorrow. Okay, well, I guess I don't have to do anything with that today. Everybody else is irrelevant now. I guess it's only my brother that matters. So let's fight this battle. You can see my effectiveness is 67%. I'm not quite sure why. I have a large number of troops, so does he. He likes the tactic of defense. I prefer the tactic of frontline assault. I can also do a quick battle and have my other general lead the battle. So I can either have the AI general that we assigned here who came to us fight the battle, or I can fight it myself. I think we'll go ahead and fight it myself. We'll see what comes of it. So you can see the enemy has a large number of troops here. They outnumber me. During each turn of a battle, a certain number of people will escape the section. The longer you hold on or out in the battle, the more people you will save. Okay. So the longer we fight, the more people escape this section to another section. They have twice the artillery of me. Good God. They have, I don't know what these are. These might be levée en masse. They've got 6 musketeers versus my 5 musketeers. They've got 4 artillery versus my 2 artillery. So we can either have a neutral attack. We can have suppressive fire. Frontline assault. Defense. Or entrenchment. If we do neutral, I think that's mostly an artillery bombardment, and it almost destroys all of his artillery. So we will do that, because I need to protect my artillery throughout this campaign. The enemy, meanwhile, is going with defense, which I'm assuming will also be a bombardment. You can see we took out almost all of his artillery. Holy crap, he knocked out all my guns. And almost all my infantry. That is a bad first turn. I don't think I can win this thing. I also don't have the option to entrench anymore. Maybe we should have done that. Defense, I think, will knock out all of his guns. I'll probably lose the rest of my force. He's entrenching by the looks of it. .500 more civilians escaped. So not all of his artillery is gone yet. We'll go with defense again. He didn't actually hurt us that bad. Defense versus defense. Alright, so we knocked out his artillery. Our muskets are actually almost equal, but he has substantially more infantry than us. So more civilians escaped during this turn. Can I take out his musketry? We're going to lose the battle. Just a matter of what we can do the most damage with. Yeah. All right, so we've got one guy left. I think we'll use this tactic. Neutral versus defense. We might get the last of his muskets. All right, so we got the last of his muskets, but he's going to break through here with what's left of his mob. So 1,600 civilians were killed. About half the civilians made it out. So we lost this section of Paris. That ain't good. I'm not really sure what the nurse does, or the physician. Like, do I want the physician on the front line? Does it limit my casualties? I don't really know. Doesn't look like I can move her to the front lines. Maybe she can only move one hex at a time. Alright, well that battle didn't go well. But the more people we hold, the more survivors there are, and that increases our reputation. However, a bunch more died, which decreases our reputation. We actually had a positive net gain on our reputation, though, that turn during the battle. Okay, so we're into day 2 of Fraternité. Remember, we need to hold out 12 days, so we've got to win some of these battles. We can't lose every day. There aren't 12 sections in Paris. Meanwhile, citizen, I'm sure that you've already received your copy of the Declaration of Women's Rights. Let us meet in the evening so I can list our demands. That's great. So we're going to have to figure out what de Staël says. Article Woman, let's wait on the demands. I was a soldier once. Prestige and justice, the supervisors of this noble building, find those two virtues essential. Prestige and justice are superior to anything else. The day before yesterday, I had the pleasure of having a few drinks with one of your guards, and we talked about our memories. We were aware that serving in the army is an essential requirement for joining the court guard. It is non-negotiable, so the guards must have sold us a tissue of lies about his military service, and the certificate he managed to get is probably forged. Of course, we had a few drinks. Investigate the matter. All right, case file. What's going on here? Charles Edine. Oh boy. Case of rape. Marcus Penet is a 42-year-old widower and a master of gunpowder production. The craftsman's employees like him. He is generally respected, and he had never been before in trouble with the law. Yet 2 of his female employees have accused him of rape. Because of the current high demand for gunpowder in Paris, the shop is working day and night and employs half as many people as usual. Citizen Wagner and Baku have been working there for only a few weeks and had not met before. Marcus Penet allegedly assaulted both of them during their night shifts in the storehouse behind the mill. They testified that he was threatening them with a knife and ordered them to enter the storeroom and get undressed. After he finished, he gave both of them a few copper coins. Good God. They dared only to denounce him after a few days when they found out about each other's terrible experiences. We wish to express our solidarity with the defendants of Paris and ask for the quick resolution of Marcus Penet's trial. Gunpowder is currently more important to us than gold. Okay, so basically people want us to drop this because we need the gunpowder for the battles. The common folk want us to acquit him. The revolutionaries and aristocrats want me to kill him. If we are to acquit, then the opinion of both those folks go down, although the common folk like me a lot. If I give them the death penalty, the aristocrats and the revolutionaries go up, but the common folk go down. I also don't know if there's an effect on my actual combat effectiveness, which is the other concern. So let's go to the questions. So again, rape, the mill, and a few copper coins. So there's 5 questions to reveal. We're only allowed to make 1 mistake. The copper coins are obviously... It's not really the method. I guess it could be the victim. Meglin5164, thanks for the follow. That's appreciated. Rape is the... Well, he's not the defense. Gunpowder is the defense, I guess? No? That's a trap? Great. All right, so copper coins is the victim, also the method. So we got 2 questions there. Rape is the I guess that would be what the victims say, right? Yeah. Okay, so rape gets the victim. So we've got 3 questions in a row. We're on a roll. And there's 2 questions, and there's only one more thing to ask, so I think I get these all correct. So despite a rocky start, I unlocked all the questions. So there's that. Meanwhile, the verdict form, again, death penalty is popular with some. I mean, I can't just like... I get that gunpowder is important to us, but I can't just let him go because, right? You've been accused of rape by 2 citizens. This is a misunderstanding. I paid them for what they were due. What? They didn't. They wouldn't. If they didn't, they wouldn't have put it in their pockets, would they? They'd claim you threatened them with a knife. I always carry it, but I didn't threaten anyone. Oh boy. Citizen Baku, please come closer. All right, we will investigate the witnesses. Night shifts at a powder mill does not sound like work for women. Night shifts at a powder mill, okay. There's a high demand for powder, so they pay good money for night shifts. Did you need the money? Who doesn't? Everything is so expensive now. Did Citizen Penet offer you the money in exchange for satisfying his urges? No, monsieur. He just came at me with a knife. I have it with me. If you like, you can give it out to some poor children, monsieur le judge, or shove it down that man's throat. I don't know. Everything happened so fast, I barely remember putting my clothes back on. Why did you wait so long before making a denunciation? You were afraid. Yes, I really need the money. I have a young brother. My father suffers from breathing troubles and can't work. Even my father said I should let it go, but then I saw how Citizen Wagner, was looking at him, and I realized that I wasn't alone. To do it by yourself is hard, but when there's two... I always went to work. I always went to that comfortable brothel a few minutes from the factory. Now it's closed. What am I supposed to do? All my life, Monsieur le Judge, I started with an apprentice, so even I remember when we switched to Steam. You have the mill, the blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you mix everything according to the proportions and then add a little water to the mixture. Then you squeeze it through a special sieve. I'm not appreciated because it's difficult, but every day the number of employees leaving work needs to be the same as the number of those who entered in the morning. In a place like that, it is really easy to cause an explosion. Good women don't come to work in the factory. The ones I have... Okay. So we basically have to make a decision on whether we want to ask a question that might allow us to acquit him or not. Why do the common folk want me to let him go? I kind of feel like we need to execute him, because if we're about to meet with Madame de Staël, leader of the women's groups and voting for women's rights, we can't just then let a rapist go before we meet with her, right? I mean, I know I need the gunpowder, and I'm sure we're going to get a penalty against us for not acquitting him, for doing the right thing. But I can't let him go. I just can't. Plus, I imagine it'll help my reputation to get these other groups happier with me. So he's going to die for rape. I suppose taking him with to the women's rights meeting is out? Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. Did he convince... I mean, he didn't say it was a crime. No, it's not counter-revolutionary in nature. Sick father and brothers. I don't remember what he said about the knife. I always carry it, but I didn't threaten anyone. Do we have any more questions that I haven't asked yet? Oh, crap. I want to get out of here. Did the money accept? Yes. She did accept the money. Why? I don't see anything about why he had the knife. He just said he always carries it. Well, I guess we have to guess it, right? We'll just say to check quality of powder. I'm sure that's wrong. Well, I only have one cannon left, so I got all the questions right. My reputation goes up 2 and +2 influence, so good for me. Someone else can make the powder, right? He can't be the only powder maker in the city. All right, attached, attached. So that'll be careless, careless, and aggression usually works. Let's try manipulation to see if it's perfect. No. Strong, perfect. So let's do these 3. Okay, so we got them into the positive territory, which gives us +3 reputation, which hopefully will help with recruitment next turn. Bastards, just wait until you run out of gunpowder. You'll be sorry. Maybe, but you also just raped someone, so I don't know what to say. It's Madame de Stael. I promise not to take too long. My case is rather obvious. Of course, I'm sure there's nothing worse could come of this. Changes. You do not like them, especially when you know they will happen soon. What kind of change? The liberation of women, of course. I do not understand. Who is oppressing you? It's 1700s, buddy. You, men have decided to rule over the country, take control of our fates. The Declaration of Women's Right clearly explains it. Of course, your famous declaration, your legacy. I had only given a few suggestions regarding the document, as I have another duty leading women to their ultimate success. Over the corpses of men, I assume? It does not have to be so. The Declaration is an acceptance of in its current form. We refuse to negotiate and will not agree to any settlements. If you resist, we will protest, and you will learn what it is like to fight without our support. Convincing people to accept such a great change, especially now. Since I first heard about you, you have done nothing but manipulate and scheme. I am sure you will manage. Remember that without us, you will lose, but with us, you may stand a chance. Okay, so I think we can either give in to her demands for women's rights, or we can result in lots of riots and things. All right, I'm going to do barricades tonight. Apparently everything I do at this point just makes my family dislike me more. So what's the harm? All right, so we got more reinforcements this turn. Looks like the enemy's going to swing left and go after our flank here. So they're going to swing from this section over here to the left. I can't pull the levy en masse out? Well, that's bad. So I'm just going to get stuck. The garrison is full with shit troops. Well, that's great. Why can't I pull them out? Fuck. I don't think 10 troops is going to hold very long. Troops are medium, so he doesn't have a ton of troops. So it's going to be a smaller force than last time. Don't we have room for one more? Is it really maxed? But our effectiveness is less than last time, which is not great. $11 out of 12. We should be able to fit one more guy in there. I don't know what putting the physician in the front lines is going to do for me, but we're going to do it since apparently she's the only one that can do anything. Meanwhile, all my reserves are going to come in here. I think they can swing left if he moves left. Not all my troops, actually. Okay, so... All right, so that's going to be our new army over here on the left flank. I don't understand why I can't send more troops in here. Like, why are all my troops blocked? All right. Also, can these guys move here? I'm pulling these troops back here because then I think they can move either left or right as needed. No, you can reinforce. I think you can reinforce a sector under attack. It let me move my physician in anyway. What's our intrigue say? Declaration of Women's Rights was a success. Convincing men will be our duty next turn. Let's fight the battle. So he has no artillery, which is good news for us. Narrow alley also blocks offensive tactics. The physician treats injured troops and provides a bonus to health points. Remember, if the troops die, the physician dies with them. Oh, shit. All right, so if we do a neutral, we will kill their entire infantry force. If we do defense, it'll do the same. But their muskets will still live on. I think I'm going to do defense. I'm hoping that'll hold off their muskets a little bit better. Again, I could try and entrench, but I don't... There's no enemy artillery, so let's just see what happens here. The enemy's going to do a frontline assault. I feel like that would match well versus defense, right? All right, so we wiped out their infantry. So that was a very good result for us, actually. No, the alley is not suitable to frontline assault. To defense, it's good. All right, let's go with neutral. That gives us the best impact on the enemy. He's going to go with neutral also. Shit, there goes our artillery. I think we're going to lose this battle too, just barely, but I think we're going to lose it also. So neutral does the most damage to him, so we'll do that. We only have two options, neutral or defense. He's going with suppressive. That was not bad for us at all. That was a very good result for us. So it's now the mob versus the muskets. Looks like neutral gives us the best chance. We'll go ahead and fight that. Neutral versus suppressive, that should fare well for us again. Suppressive is not an effective tactic, or it wasn't last turn. Hell yeah! The mobs of the Parisian soldiers will march to victory! All right. So we lost 1 artillery and 4 of our revolutionary guards. The enemy lost 5 of its levée en masse and 1 musket. Meanwhile, the entire group of 3,200 civilians made it out. And we also held the sector, I believe. So, very good result for us in that battle. Unfortunately, I can't counterattack and retake the sections of the city I lost. So we fought 2 days and we've won 1 battle and we've lost the other. We'll end the turn. I don't know why the death count goes up so much, given we won the battle. But you can see we get a +6 on a reputation there. By the way, I don't... Oh, no, I think I did say thank you, Menglas, Mengland5164. Today we only have a couple of minor cases to deal with. How's our... by the way, so our reputation is up to +4, so we're into the positives. Meanwhile, medium relations with the aristocrats and the revolutionaries, high relations with the common folks. So we've got a pretty good balance all across the board. Okay. What are the cases? Lisa Mesny has been allegedly selling magic potions to young women, pregnant women. The substance facilitates miscarriages. We searched for her house and found a number of empty bottles, dried herbs, and a large amount of money hidden under the floor. Assisting in abortions. I'm guessing that'll be generally popular to kill her? Yes, everybody is in favor of killing people who help with abortions. It is the 1780s. So that is not a political statement by me. It is just understanding the reality of a Catholic religious France. All right, officer of the guard, Michel Lagarde, was murdered on his way home after a night shift. The hammer that probably served as the murder weapon was lying next to Ralph Mallet, who was found sleeping in a dark alley, blind and drunk. So we murder a person who helps with abortions, but we acquit a drunk man who murdered someone? Hey, gotta balance those opinions, right? Okay. Colonel Gaspard Picard, who was in charge of the artillery of the internal army, was caught stealing building materials that were supposed to be used for the barracks. Okay, that's definitely death. All right, so the revolutionaries really like me right now. The aristocrats, I lost a little bit of popularity, but I think we're still around the medium range, and we're probably around the medium range for the common folk as well. You're right, Cannabis. It could have been the man with the hammer could have been framed. That's why I acquitted him. Well, no, I acquitted him because it served my purpose, but okay. Whoa, what's going on now?
They want to rule. What are they thinking? I'll beat some senses to my wife later.
Oh my God.
Just prepare our food and bear our children. No women will rule us. Remember your place, or we will help you.
Okay, so all right. So I need to win this. I need to convince them or I'm going to be screwed. So they're oversensitive. We must accept the women's conditions. They're oversensitive to that. So that's either carelessness or it is manipulation. I'm going to go with manipulation. Bullheaded, they're not demanding much. So that's either carelessness, I think, or manipulation, or humility. Could be one of the three. We'll go with carelessness. They're not demanding much. Let's appease them, right? Manipulation might be the alternative. Humility probably won't work. They deserve better treatment. That's withdrawn. That might be humility. Attached, the revolution was supposed to give everybody equal status. They're attached to that. So that might be humility. And then only real brotherhood can bring us victory. We already tried carelessness, or for withdrawn, we already tried humility here. So if that works, then I'll just assume it'll work down here. But I'm going to go with manipulation here. So manipulation apparently is a perfect argument. So the third and the sixth one, or fifth ones, we're going to do manipulation. The first one, we're going to do manipulation as well. So I think, if they're bullheaded, carelessness is a very weak argument for them not demanding much. So maybe we'll go with humility. But again, bullheaded humility might not work. It could be manipulative as well. All right, so we're going to go with manipulation. I mean, it could be manipulation, manipulation, manipulation. carelessness, manipulation. We'll see.
Admit it. You did not expect this. And neither did I. They attacked when we were not looking. And now we have to give in to them. Think on it for a moment. You will give them a small amount of power, yet win yourselves peace for the rest of your lives.
Have you had to
Oh, that didn't work.
again? You're
God damn it.
speaking as if we don't know our women well. They will walk all over us if we consent to this.
Put yourselves in their shoes. They have not gained much from the revolution, unlike you. And they end up on the guillotine just as frequently. Who supported you when you were bearing the standards of the revolution? They carried them at your sides with you.
We slog our guts out to feed them, and we give them children. Don't we do enough already? It's said that in savage countries, women have it worse and don't complain.
We have set ourselves up nicely indeed. We seized power from the monarchy, taken it for ourselves, yet our women still wash our dirty undergarments. You have a chance to show the real power of the Revolutionary Brotherhood. Only if we all stand together to fight for our freedom will the slogan, freedom, equality, brotherhood be truly fulfilled.
Well, now you've confused us. What on earth made you negotiate with hags?
God damn it. I don't think we succeeded. Actually, it was a success. They're doubtful, but we get +2 reputation.
Rule of women.
They can have a brothel. Let them rule that. For the glory of the new world.
I don't know what that end cutscene meant. Did I do a good job or not? We'll do evening with the soldiers. Hey, my dad liked that decision. My son and my wife obviously don't. All right, so they're going to launch a frontal attack here. Oh, they're launching attacks on 2 places. Well, shit. Okay. Can I move troops down here? Apparently not. Great. So that whole section's gone. That's a disaster. I didn't even defend it. Well, that's just great. So now I have to make sure that we defend 3 sections, which, again, that gets more difficult as our front gets longer. We can fit 3 more units in here. All right, so levy en masse there. Meanwhile, no one's attacking here. They are attacking in the center, though. That garrison's already at max size. So, they attacked 2 directions. They took 1 more section of the city. We now have all of our troops. I think all the front line... Oh, this section isn't maxed out. So the front line here is maxed. If we hold here, this line not being maxed won't matter. Enemy formation is medium size, 63% effectiveness for 60 of our own. So we'll see if we can win this battle. All right, so they have 1 artillery, 3 leve en masse, and 2 muskets. I feel like we should win this battle. If we go with neutral, we'll wipe out their musketeers and do a good deal of damage to their infantry. If we go defensive, we'll knock out their artillery and give a good deal of damage on the other sides. Frontal assault will wipe out their infantry. I'm going to go defensive and knock out their artillery, because that's the thing I'm the most afraid of, even though it's only 1 unit. They went defensive also. So their artillery is gone. We lost about half our muskets. So did they. Now they're going to move their infantry forward against our own. We're about even trade there. So that's a good result. So go with neutral, which will wipe out their musketeers and kill about half their infantry. I think we got this one, guys. They go with frontline assault. Okay, so we're about even on the leve en masse. Meanwhile, we still have a good deal of muskets. Downporter. Oh, shit. Shooters have 50% less attack power. All right, we'll frontline assault and hopefully overrun them. Fix bayonets, boys! Forward! Got him. Okay, so we lost 1 leve en masse and 5 guards, I think. They lost... Or no, we have survivors of that. We lost 1 infantry, 3 leve en masse, 2 guardsmen. They lost 3 guardsmen, 2 infantry, 1 leve en masse. So 6 to 6 in terms of casualties, but the leve en masse are the cheaper ones. So it's actually a good result for us. Meanwhile, all the civilians made it out, and we held the sector. So now I'm going to move these troops forward here to reinforce this section. We also have more reserves available. Garrison's full. We can move our nurse over here. Meanwhile, we've got more troops back here, or more troops to deploy. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we did lose another section of Paris. We have 8 more days until reinforcements arrive. There are 2 hexes in enemy control. Meanwhile, we still control 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But he apparently can attack multiple times, so that's not great. We've saved 76,000 Parisians. We've lost 26,000. Our reputation looks like it dropped slightly due to these battles. Madame de Stael has urged the city Madame de Stael has used the city's moment of weakness to fight for women's rights. I'm not one to judge the motivations of other people, but if we do not stop her today, we may not wake up tomorrow. So we did convince the men. That was a success. We also succeeded with the Declaration of the Rights of Women. The next day we'll be winning over Grace Elliott. Madame de Stael counts on the unity among women. Let us show her that female unity is as fragile as the bonds between men. When power and money are at stake, empathy and compassion cease to be important. Of all the women who could have something on Madame de Stael, Grace Elliott would be the most efficient. She knows the Madame's words well. There is no time for subtleties. Imprison her, then promise to let her go in exchange for information. So I don't even get to choose whether I want to convince the women or not. I'm just sort of railroaded down this, you have to fight against women's rights. All right. Whoa, reputation went way up because of the survivors there, although the number of dead also went up substantially. So it actually looks like it was about an even day there. 44,000 civilians killed so far, 104,000 have been protected. We're moving on to day 4, Act 3, Fraternité. Another case. Everybody wants her executed. Well, that should be easy, right? I was a soldier once. Okay, so we're doing an investigation of this guy. What could have been a drunken ramblings turned out to be true. It must have been quite a burden for the man. Luckily, he finally found someone he could trust, me. I resolved the matter discreetly. The certificate of military service was forged, and to be certain, I asked people who should have known him from the army. Apparently, nobody ever thought such things could be checked. Who would have thought someone could lie about such a thing? It appears this man really wanted this job. Accuse the guard of deceit, discharge the guard from service, or leave the guard alone. Well, he really wanted to be a soldier, right? Maybe we should just leave him alone. I wish I knew what the impacts of any of this were. I don't want to discharge him from service, but we could accuse him of deceit. Maybe he would still be a useful soldier. So if I give the death penalty, everybody will like me more. If I quit, they will all like me a lot less. Although, admittedly, none of it is dramatically changing the balance of power right now. All right, and on the verge of yet another trial, that's going to do it for this episode of We the Revolution, episode number 21 of our Let's Play series. This was the conclusion of the live stream that I did a week or so back. I'll probably do another one shortly, so we'll have some more of this game coming. Let me know if you guys want to see more of it. It's an interesting game. I'm enjoying a lot about it, but it is also, there's some interesting story and design choices in the game as well. Nonetheless, the Battle of Paris got off to a bad start with us losing 1 hex and having most of our artillery destroyed and overrun. We did successfully defend 2 other hexes in victories, but we lost another hex due to having no forces in that hex. So 2, I believe, of the 12 sections of Paris have fallen to the enemy. We have bought 3 days of time for the reinforcements to be coming. That means 9 more days until the reinforcements do show up. Meanwhile, we still have to manage the city, the people, Madame de Stael trying to raise the issue of women's liberation. There's a lot going on right now, and we'll see how things play out in our next episode. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Please leave your thoughts down below. Let me know your take on this game. But until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.